It's a beautiful Sunday in Spokane, Washington, as we get set to wrap up match week 12 in USL League One as Spokane Velocity FC hosts Sarasota Paradise for the first time ever. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. We get a look at our two coaches who know each other very well heading into this match. It might be the first time these teams are playing, but lots of shared history that we will dive into. Here's a look at how the season has gone so far for Spokane and Sarasota. They find themselves at opposite ends of the table. For Spokane, this match represents a chance to go solo in second in the league standings here early on in the season as we get close to that June month. It's been a tough start for Sarasota Paradise, and things won't get easier against Spokane, who have been excellent at home this season. Last time out, they got a 2-1 win against FC Naples. They've already beaten Naples. They've beaten Union Omaha at home as well. One Spokane Stadium has become a fortress for Lee Veidman and company, looking for their 6th straight win here to start the season. And the man we've got our eyes on is Neil Binyals, who played under Sarasota head coach Mika Elovara when he was with the Richmond Kickers. This year, 2 goals and 11 appearances in all competitions as Spokane have rotated some bodies through. But he scored in the last match, a USL Cup fixture against Las Vegas Lights. He had the game winner in their cup set. For Sarasota Paradise, their last match at home didn't go quite so well. A 2-1 loss to AV Alta, but there was more to the story than that. 17 shots, they put 5 on target. This was a sensational strike from Anderson Rosa to equalize the match at 1. Eventually, they suffered a late penalty kick given away here on Adam Almeish, who converted the penalty himself and condemned Sarasota to yet another loss, their 7th of the season. They have just 7 points through 10 matches. But a player who has remained a constant threat is Jonathan Bolaños. He sets up his teammates to perfection with 18 chances created this season. That mark is good for 5th in USL League One. Look for him to get the rest of his squad involved and hit on the break, as Sarasota certainly expect to come in here on the road, sit behind the ball, and let Bolaños cook when they do get on it. Well, what happens when you bring Paradise to the Pacific Northwest? We're just a few minutes away from finding out. It's Spokane Velocity and Sarasota Paradise. Kickoffs and starting lineups when we return.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
starting lineups are in, and they are brought to you by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. For Lee Wiedemann, no changes needed from the USL Cup victory, a 1-0 scoreline against Las Vegas Lights. It's the exact same starting 11. Anwar Pelaez is still out, as is Carlos Marancio. So it's Sean Lewis in goal and Nico Brett up top. Flipping over to Sarasota Paradise, there were a couple surprises in this lineup, but they've gone with experience over everything. You look at that front four that the Paradise have, they're a group of players with over 300 career combined USL League One regular season appearances and 67 goals between the four of them. As Ethan Bryant takes his final stretches and is about to get us set from Spokane on a weekend where we celebrate those who serve the red, white, and blue. It is Sarasota in the road whites and Spokane Velocity in the black jerseys from head to toe at home. My name is Parker Johnson. So happy that you've joined us here on this Sunday for our final League One match of the weekend. Some big results across the league last night, most notably Union Omaha staying in first place. But for Spokane, this is an opportunity, if they can extend their perfect start to the season at home, to get 3 points and go into second position with a win. Right away, it's Velocity FC on the ball with Gagi Markvelashvili. We've seen Simon Fitch come back into the lineup at right back. Lucky Opara had been the choice for most of the season, but dealing with a little bit of injury, and Fitch was able to come in and do a good job against Las Vegas. He's back in there, as is Meji Alexandra, who draws the foul. Whistled by Felix Granados to give Spokane an early set piece in the attacking end. It's one of those tight angles where if Binyals can put this with power somewhere around the frame of goal, it can take any kind of touch off an attacker or a defender, and these are very hard to defend for goalkeeper Alex Sutton in the Sarasota net. But he punches strongly, sends it high and wide, covered by Andre Lewis. McLaughlin trying to keep it in play, but unable to do so. So Spokane take the throw quickly. Heel, juggling, working with Lewis. Now sensational stuff from Luis Heel and Spokane early on, playing with a lot of confidence. Let's get into our injury report, brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. As we mentioned, Carlos Marancio still out, so Sean Lewis starts in goal for Spokane, and Anwar Pelaez, really tough scene for him, going back out with injury after finally returning to the starting lineup. He scored not only his first goal of the league campaign last time out against FC Naples, but had an assist in that match as well, and then ended up having to come out of that game with an injury, and we haven't seen him back since. He's not in the 18. Corner on the way for Sarasota Paradise. Some bustling work up top from Garrett McLaughlin, earning the first set piece opportunity for Sarasota. Jorgen Pedersen, a Norwegian native, over to take the ICCU corner kick. Your Financial Success Fan Club. Pedersen goes for the near post. Well defended by Andre Lewis. Give away from Bolduc. Allows some space for Alexandra to run the other way. Cutting right between two defenders. Playing it forward for Nico Brett. And now picking up the pieces again. It's the left winger Vinyals already in the early going. Spokane looking like a team on top, adding that extra bit of flavor to some of these attacks, the dribbles, the juggles, the moves. Alexandra going again at Pedersen. Left-footed service, top of the net. Here are your keys to the game, presented by Ford for Spokane. Coach Wiedemann talked about controlling the chaos. He said that Sarasota are less about their team system and more about the individuals who can just step up and make a play and run through the lines and make a moment. So he wants his team to stay tight in a block and control those moments. For Sarasota, they're ready to come here and make a statement. Mika Elovara said that they were very explicit talking to the team about the fact that Spokane is #1 in the USL League One power rankings this week. They are dead last, according to the official power rankings. Not far off in the standings either from those marks, but Elovara said they know they're going to a place where no other team has earned any points this season. They intend to be the first team to do so on the road against Spokane. No shortage of confidence on the Sun Coast. When you talk to Elovara, there's just a radiating positivity. Despite the poor results in the standings so far, 2 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, he really feels like this team is going to put a run together at some point. He cited Tormenta last season, getting into form late on as they headed into the playoffs. He cited another expansion team like Portland Hearts of Pine, who were able to put together their winning streak in the middle of the season and charge to the playoffs. He's hoping for much the same. Meanwhile, for Lee Wiedemann, you're talking about a much different type of job at hand. Sarasota coming in their first season as an expansion club, moving up from USL League Two. The expectations not overly high, but for Spokane, in order to improve, that means trophies. They've made the playoffs, they've hosted playoff games, they've reached the USL League One final each of the last 2 seasons, their first 2 as a club. And now it's about hitting that extra gear, finding that next level. They've filled more spots in the roster, although there weren't too many gaps to begin with after last season. Bring in players like Gagi, who is on the ball here, a dominant center back. Mensa at left back has formed a great partnership with Alexandra on that side. And at this point, I mean, you look at the bench that Spokane Velocity has today. Joe Gallardo, Siobhan John Brown, Derek Waldeck, players who are established qualities for a long time in USL League One and even levels above that. John Brown, a captain for his country, 43 international appearances for Grenada. Likewise, Lewis, the Jamaica man, striding through. Alexandra! A steaming shot towards the near post. Sutton stands strong. That ball was hit with some real venom. It's from a similar position that he scored against Naples. He went to the far corner on that occasion, tries to catch Sutton out, but a great reaction from the 26-year-old goalkeeper who leads USL League One in saves this season. Vinyals looking to put him under more pressure here. Sutton claims. And a whistle had gone as well. Sarasota trying to create from open play. A chance maybe to establish a little bit of rhythm in possession. Andres Rodriguez, the man who tends to be at the heart of those setups for Sarasota, number 16, the defensive midfielder. As Waters knocks it over to Shogard on the back. They've withstood a difficult first 10 minutes, Sarasota. Trying to get a foothold here on the road. A tough 2-game road spell between this game and then they'll travel to AC Boise on Wednesday. Short rest against 2 very good opponents. A long, long way from home. Mikael Ovara was trying to draw a comparison for his assistant coach, Trevor Sinclair, who is a former English Premier League player, about how difficult this road trip was going to be. And so he brought in Sinclair's son, who plays in the Accrington Stanley Academy over in England. And he said, listen, Trevor, if your son had to travel to Kazakhstan for an away match, that is roughly the kind of travel that we're talking about, going from Sarasota to Spokane, Washington. I did the math, and he was exaggerating a touch. That real distance is about 3,700 miles to Kazakhstan. 2,700 from Florida to Spokane, but the point stands. This is a tough road trip, and that's one of the reasons for Spokane's dominance at home early on this season. First time Sarasota making this trip, but Elovara has certainly been here before. He was with Richmond Kickers since 2019 up until last year, a member of Darren Sawatsky's staff and a key part of their academy setup, which is pretty widely considered the best in USL League One. Lewis, great footwork to get past the first couple of pressures from Sarasota. Then Bolaños with the foul from behind. Alexandra. Easy pickings again for Sutton, who's been quick to come off his line and confident in collection. Rodriguez. Bryant joins in the build, sweeps it across to Bolaños, who has an overlap now from Rosa. This is where Sarasota's dangerous. Well defended by Moses Mensah. O'Dwyer. Bolaños. A little bit of contact at the edge of the area. No foul whistle by the referee, and Sarasota play on. It's an ambitious shot from Bolaños, and it comes to nothing, but that is the best spell that the Paradise have had. Fan scan now, and you can win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Clean tackle from Pedersen. He's gotten the better of Alexandra the last couple of times after a hot start from Spokane. Velocity were able to score in the first 10 minutes in their USL Cup win against Las Vegas Lights. That was the last match they played. Talking to Lee Wiedemann about that match, he was disappointed with the fact that his team started so well and then stopped doing some of the things that made them so effective. Their pressures, their good build-up play, both of which led to the free kick they scored on. And then they just kind of sat back once they had the lead. Hoping to avoid a similar pattern early on here after a fast start against the Paradise, who have grown into this match, played out for a throw. Bryant takes it from Bolaños. O'Dwyer. Heel picks it up in the pocket. Fitch plays it back to the Spokane captain. Bignell's trying to kick it into an extra gear and seen out there by Declan Waters, the reigning all USL League One center back. Turn to the CBS Sports Network on Saturday, May 30th for USL Championship battle for the top of the Eastern Conference. Reigning Players' Shield winners, Louisville City FC, host the undefeated Tampa Bay Rowdies at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network, May 30th. Spokane with a 60-40 possession edge so far. Just the one shot on goal from Meji Alexandra. It's been a slow burn through 18 minutes, but we're so glad that you're here with us on this Memorial Day weekend. Beautiful afternoon in Spokane. 75 degrees, sun is out. The horns are blaring. From a city that has really been able to fall in love with soccer through this team. I was talking to Lee Wiedemann about the home support and how it's changed over the last couple of years. He said in 2024, in their inaugural season, there were times where he'd be a little confused at when the fans were cheering, had to educate them on, you know, things like yellow cards, red cards, what the big moments of a match are. And you could see the growth and the changes in their last match against Las Vegas Lights, where Meji Alexandra was given a red card that the fans deemed to be a bit dubious. He was thought to have headbutted his opponent. The fans didn't think there was much contact, and the player on Las Vegas who was involved in that confrontation was then booed the rest of the match the entire time. every time he touched the ball. And Wiedemann pointed to that specifically as an example of how these fans have really grown in their knowledge of the game, taken these match day experiences to heart, and been able to push this team over the line. It's a big factor in their strong start at home this season. McLaughlin carries it into the area. Gagi gets in front. Rodriguez with a long shot, and Lewis simply throws a hand up at it. No worry for the veteran goalkeeper. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Spokane do have the ball. Keep an eye on this tight 4-4-2 shape for Sarasota Paradise. They put it into effect against AV Alta, another team that really likes to control the possession in matches. Number 2 possession team in USL League One. And they had great success closing out the areas, keeping them ineffective in that possession. Seems to be the defensive strategy they're working with out of possession against Spokane through the first 22 minutes here. It was something that Lee Wiedemann pointed out in his scout of what Sarasota liked to do. Here's a stat that shows how effective it was against AV Alta, a team that's been on fire recently. They held them to their lowest shot output of any game in league play this season. Just 8 of them in that 2-1 loss, but ultimately it was that shot from 12 yards, the decisive penalty kick that sunk Sarasota. They did so much right in that match. Another example of how close they've come at times to getting results. But it's the systems, it's the underlying numbers that Elavara takes pride and confidence in. He also was very impressed by his team's fitness in that match, as they really dominated proceedings in the second half. After playing 2 matches that week in the South Florida Heat, felt like that showed how this team can come alive late in games. And so the longer they hang around here in Spokane, the more dangerous they will become. Heel drops deep now to receive. Crafts up a pass to Andre Lewis, who's taking his spot on the right wing. Lewis dropping his man to the floor, but Shogard able to get back up and get back on it, forcing the pass back to Simon Fitch. Andres Rodriguez picking out Pedersen. Rosa inverting to midfield. Spots the run of Ethan Bryant. Completely mishit behind. Another Sarasota promising build that doesn't result in much threat on goal. You can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Heel once again showing his quality with the ball in the air. Third sequence already where he's opted to juggle around his nearest defender. Keeps the play moving for Spokane with Lewis and Mensah. Colin Fernandez swinging left to right. The pendulum in midfield. Mentioned from the top, a completely unchanged starting 11 from the match against Las Vegas Lights. Consistency so important to Lee Wiedemann as McLaughlin moves away, finds Bolaños in transition, save from Lewis, charged in. McLaughlin will receive a yellow card. That was a dangerous play between two longtime League One foes. It looks like Bolaños was in perfect scoring position, but good on Sean Lewis for not going down too early. Bolaños tried to sneak it back in at the near post. A disappointing finish on a promising break for Sarasota. What a luxury for Spokane Velocity. You got Carlos Marancio out, and you pick up Sean Lewis after he originally signed with Tormenta for this season. I remember talking to Lee Wiedemann at the time, and he said, if Sean Lewis is available, why wouldn't you sign him? They talked it out. They came to an agreement that Lewis would be the backup. He would be the cup keeper. He was cool with it. He came to Spokane, and before too long, the opportunity had presented itself. Played in some cup matches and now has filled in for Marancio in the last two league matches. Coming up with a big save in the first half hour to keep the game scoreless as Fitch comes forward. Biños! Lewis loses his feet. Waters chased down by Nico Brett, trying to spear it into the channel. Might have been some contact after he released the pass. Free kick coming here for Sarasota. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Good run from Rosa, defended by Heel, and behind for another Sarasota corner kick. A game that may have looked like a mismatch coming in on paper, but the best chances have all come for Sarasota. They got another one here from the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. A mass of bodies circling the penalty spot. And the tree closest to the sun is Declan Waters in there. A couple of guys just sharing their reflections on Memorial Day weekend, I'm sure. Nothing out of the ordinary. Felix Granados, seasoned official, all over this penalty area scrum. Pedersen. Nice head out from Gagi. Sarasota trying to get another ball back into the box. Bolaños the target. Headed that time by Cam Miller. The two towering center halves for Spokane, each coming up with a clearance. Two men on. Mensah, well aware of it, scoops it away towards the halfway line. Bolduc. Looks like he wedged his body in there fairly, but was whistled by Granados, and a free kick for Spokane. Let's watch what happened after the flick from O'Dwyer. Undercuts Colin Fernandez. Brett asking for help with the press. That's a poor ball out from Alex Sutton. Sometimes all it takes is that little extra sprint towards the goalkeeper. He can get uncomfortable in a hurry. Last year with Carolina Core FC and MLS Next Pro, Alex Sutton, that was one of his main points of development. A young goalkeeper who joined Carolina Core during their first season in MLS Next Pro. Now with another expansion team. Sarasota in search of a seismic upset. One that could jumpstart their season and send shockwaves through the League One ranks. Spokane with 17 points on the board through 8 matches. They've picked up 15 of those 17 points at home. Viñals dispossessed. But the first ball out from Sarasota, inaccurate as Andre Lewis gets it back. Gaki on the move. Fitch fires in. Header from Viñals. And I think it might have came off his shoulder, in fact. No power on the shot whatsoever from the Barcelona native. Yep, shoulder ball. Been there before. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and League One. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Just prodding mid-block from Sarasota, causing Spokane lots of problems. Just sitting off, happy to stay inside their own half, but as soon as Velocity try any kind of piercing pass, they are quick to collapse on the ball. They've done a good job marking out those two defensive midfielders for Spokane, guys who like to start the build. Bolaños coming in hot. Bryant, great control. Veers away from two defenders. Flicks it out to Bolaños. Rosa. Into the box for Bulldog. Looking for space to shoot. Three black shirts around him. Oh, Rosa snaps it forward with the snake dribble, cuts it to the back post. Let's take a look at this dribble again from Rosa. Pulled off a elastic move. Wasn't able to find the final ball through, but we see the creativity of Sarasota shining. Their movement in the final third, when they are in possession, is what makes them so hard to defend. But when it falls on them to create that finishing touch, that's where the struggles have been this year for Sarasota. They lead the league in an unflattering category, that being big chances missed, according to FootMob, with 16 of them on the season. McLaughlin, the biggest culprit, putting up 8 of those, 16. Simply too many moments where they've created the right opportunity and haven't been able to put it in the back of the net. Don't do that and you will be punished in USL League One. It is an unforgiving league. But from Mika Elevar's standpoint, he's pleased with the process and he feels that eventually those numbers will pay off in the attacking phase. They're trying to solidify the defense recently as well. When it comes to a match against Spokane, especially on the road, you can do everything right. And you can certainly find yourself on the wrong end of the result. That is the kind of quality that Velocity has at their disposal. As Heel is whistled for a foul. He of some 167 appearances in Major League Soccer. Hey, Lumberbeer Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. And they're open 7 days a week. Spokane stymied again. There's been ebbs and flows to the match. On the overall balance of play, Velocity have a 64% possession edge as things stand. But Sarasota coming away with more shots and shots on target so far. Brett wins it back, fakes the shot, had heel there. And if he got on the end of it, he could have played it across for a tap in for Viñals. Bolaños with a little bit of a slip, and that was enough for Brett to stab it in. I think he almost faked out his own teammate. Heel didn't really continue his run with much authority. Wasn't ready for the pass from Brett. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Fernandez with the switch, out to Alexandra. Squaring up Pedersen, and that ball ran out of play. Alexandra coming off a moment of ignominy in that 1-0 win against Las Vegas Lights. He was given the red card, and Lee Wiedemann said that he's just a young guy and the emotions got the best of him. He kind of got baited in by the Las Vegas Lights player. Gave him a little bit of a headbutt and received a straight red. So he'll miss their next cup match, which is at home against AC Boise. Certainly an occasion that these players and fans will look forward to with their new local rival. But in terms of the way that both Alexandra handled that moment and the rest of the team, Wiedemann was really impressed with the resilience. He said that Alexandra was apologetic. He learned his lesson, apologized straight away to his teammates, and at the end of the day, they did what they had to do to pick up their teammate from that moment. Everybody who came in the rest of the match fought hard. They were down to 10 men and were able to keep out a USL Championship team for about 40 minutes of that match, holding on to a 1-0 lead without much of the ball. And that was the best way that they could make him feel better about that tough moment. So he's right back in the starting lineup today. Just showing the togetherness of this Spokane side. Filthy little nutmeg from Moses Mensah, drawing the foul from Bullduk, who wasn't overly happy about that. This is interesting now. That's Declan Waters. Great look here from the cameras as he smacked into Viñals and just made some uncomfortable contact. And he's a warrior back there. He's only got to get another minute plus stoppage time to get to the locker room for halftime and get some treatment. Ideally, don't need your center back to use his hands too much, but that will be something to monitor going forward. Certainly one of the most important players for Sarasota Paradise. He's a big-time leader, and Mika Elevara said it was killing him that he couldn't be in the starting lineup for their match against AV Altos. The first game he hasn't started all season, but according to the training staff, he was just reaching that point with the amount of games Sarasota had played where he needed a rest. He looked a little leggy in the second half of their previous match against Jacksonville in the USL Cup. So they sat him down on the bench, and Elevara said that's the kind of decision they're gonna have to make to set the right standard going forward. Doesn't matter who the player is, you got to take care of them and keep them out of their own way. Fernandez couldn't get out of McLaughlin's way. He didn't try overly hard, but did draw in the foul. Remember McLaughlin on that yellow card from the early collision with Sean Lewis. As we enter 1 minute of first half stoppage time, which is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. Felix Granados blows the halftime whistle. Sarasota giving Spokane all they could handle. Sean Lewis had to make a couple big saves as the visitors in their first matchup all time with Spokane Velocity trying to end Spokane's perfect start at home this season. We are still scoreless at the break. Lots of good stuff for you coming up on halftime. We'll take you around USL League One, let you know everything that's going on this weekend as Spokane trying to go to second place. They are being held up at the moment by the mighty Paradise. Be right back. Halftime here in Spokane, scoreline is 0-0. And while we take you through halftime, you can scan the QR code on your screen and you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Let's take a look back at last week. This was before the most recent round of USL Cup action. At Week 10's USL League One Team of the Week, Anwar Pelaez had a goal and an assist against FC Naples in that win for Spokane. He got into the team, but it was a lot of Fort Wayne who have remained hot, picking up the win against AC Boise on the road last night. Godwin Antwi also coming off of the banger that got him into this Team of the Week. Scored a goal from just inside the halfway line last night. So those are a couple guys that might be getting back into Team of the Week this week. We'll see who might join them from our match in Spokane after the second 45. But for now, let's take you through the goal of the week and the save of the week from USL League One.
To end, Antwi curls it goalward. Oh, it's sensational.
Godwin Antwi doubles AV Alta's lead over Ford Madison with a laser beneath the crossbar. And it comes on a play that is pretty well defended. Antwi comes from the right side and is immediately picked up by Madison's Gin Kenyane. But Antwi's teammate, Christian Ortiz, continues his run towards the corner that sends Madison defenders his way and leaves just enough space for Antwi to cut towards the middle. And look at where this shot enters the goal. It was nearly a miracle save by the keeper, but instead, it's our select League One goal of the week.
In-swinger, headed out, stopped by Levy! Second chance, no good! Matt Levy, are you kidding me?
Jansen Wilson with a heat-seeking missile.
Now from distance, shot once more, and score!
Now and then, you need to stop and smell the roses. Or the leaves, rocks, trees, sticks, and that one tree again. This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
I truly give everything that I can for them.
It's like, all right, we're in this and we're gonna go for it.
Esto es la porra, this is who we are.
Everybody here doing the heartbeat, having everybody in the stadium do that was just chills.
Halftime continues at One Spokane Stadium, scoreless after the first 45 minutes between Spokane and Sarasota. Scan the QR code now to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. All right, let's take a look at the League One scoreboard. Tons of action yesterday. Starting off with a 1-1 draw up at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Portland against Greenville. Charlotte Independence picking up 3 points against Forward Madison. FC Naples followed suit, as well as Union Omaha stayed top of the table with that 2-0 win over Chattanooga Red Wolves. How about Corpus Christi fighting for a draw against One Knox? And it took a late equalizer for One Knoxville to get any points at the League One debutantes. And then Fort Wayne going into Boise, picking up a 3-1 win themselves. And the nightcap was a fun one too. AV Alta putting 4 past the traveling Cosmos. Some really sensational goals in that match. If you get a chance to check out the highlights, I would definitely recommend. All right, well, that's for League One. We'll let Dan Lucas fill you in on the rest of the action around the USL.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with some of the League One headlines. Aside from a very busy USL Cup weekend, there were some league matches, and Union Omaha pulled off a big win on the road against One Knoxville. Sergio Ors Navarro's 84th minute goal was the difference in the 2-1 final. That's the second home loss of the season for One Knox and vaults Omaha to the top of the League One table. 3 League One clubs scored regulation victories over USL Championship clubs in round 2 of the Prinks Tires USL Cup. Portland Hearts of Pine defeated Rhode Island 2-1. AC Boise rallied to beat Monterey Bay 4-3. And Spokane Velocity scored early in a 1-0 win over Las Vegas Lights. And 2 more League One clubs, FC Naples Rifles and Charlotte Independence won penalty kick shootouts against championship teams. Congratulations to Corpus Christi veteran player Kristen Cheney for making his 50th career goal contribution in Week 11. His assist against Charlotte Independence gives him 12 assists to go with 38 goals in 111 career matches. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship on CBS Sports Network, Sporting Jacks in San Antonio next Wednesday. Then a big one between Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies on the 30th, and another tough test for the Rowdies against Charleston Battery on June 10th. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Beautiful day in Spokane for some soccer. Fans weren't treated to any goals in the first half, but we do have plenty of highlights to bring you as we get set for the start of some second half action here. Together. So a match very much played between the boxes. A couple of coaches who seem to have found a pretty solid recipe to neutralize one another, but no breakthroughs to speak of as of yet. And as things stand, certainly a result that Sarasota would be much happier with than Spokane, to go on the road and be the first team to take points off of Velocity FC. Sarasota have lost 5 straight in all competitions. So any kind of result here would be some kind of boost. 45 minutes to make it happen. Parker Johnson back here with you as we get going for the second half from One Spokane Stadium here on Memorial Day weekend. And thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be across the country, across the world. This is the heartbeat of American soccer, USL League One. Some of the best players to ever grace this competition on the pitch from the start. The likes of Luis Gil and Neil Binyals, Jonathan Bolaños, a stalwart through the years, Garrett McLaughlin. Haven't quite found the formula for a goal. Both teams missing a few key pieces for Sarasota. The normal striker, Matthew Sensi, not available in the 18. Neither is Jordan Bender, a dynamic young forward. And they're missing a couple of right back options in Callum Stretch and Roberto Burlu. For Spokane Velocity, no Carlos Marancio, no Anwar Pelayas through injury. And thanks to the depth of their squad, even talented pieces like Jack Denton and Nick Spielman were not able to make the bench for this match. Bullduck. Barged through by Moses Mensah. Clip forward for Ethan Bryant, who starts in midfield in place of Sander Rode today. Rode is on the bench for Sarasota. He leads USL League One in assists coming into the weekend with 4. Here is Bryant. Looking for the ball through to Bolaños, cut out by Luis Gil. If you look at the lineups, Gil is kind of that right-sided midfielder or attacker. Of course, he likes to drift into the central positions when Spokane do have the ball, but you'll see him defending out on the right when Sarasota is able to pin him back. That's where they would certainly prefer Gil to spend his time. But so many options there for Lee Wiedemann on the bench. Whenever he does decide to make some substitutions here, you got Siobhan John Brown back from international duty, Joe Gallardo, who has missed the last couple of games. They would provide a much different look on the wing. Throwing deep in the attacking half, taken by Fitch. Mensah looking for Nico Brett, trying to hold off Declan Waters, but lost his bearings and straight offside in the process. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. That is the section known as the Herd here at One Spokane Stadium. The most vocal of the supporters group. Got the Herd versus the Helm, which has been established down in Sarasota. I'm sure there's a few members from the Floridian supporters tuned into this one on ESPN Plus, checking out their first away trip to the Pacific Northwest, which will culminate in a match against Boise on Wednesday. Bolaños trying to sneak around the corner, using Bullduck as the backboard. but he wasn't able to make it stick. It's a very experienced front four for Sarasota between Bolduc, McLaughlin, O'Dwyer, and Bolaños. Over 300 regular season appearances in League One and 67 goals between them. Bryant. Rosa deflected behind. Sarasota corner coming up here. As Bignal's got in the way of the cross. Third corner kick of the match for the Paradise. And this is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Back post header did not take another touch as Sjogard got to it. Waters almost in his own teammate's way. Nothing doing from the corner for Sarasota. Maybe a chance to catch those defenders out. Great ball over to Brett, who shoves down Sjogard. Sutton's got a few choice words for him. And I think Brett knows exactly what he was doing there. What a pass, though, from Meji Alexandra. And he put that on a dime right at the edge of the 18-yard box. Sutton coming to the defense of his center back. Sjogard, one of the many Scandinavian players on Mika Elovara's inaugural roster. Native of Sweden, playing next to the Irishman Waters. Sjogard still needing a little bit of service on his right shoe. Scan now and you can win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Knocked over for Heel. Played through the middle. O'Dwyer had to be alert to it. Still trying to find his way out of the pressure. Now they've got Rodriguez as the release valve. Gagi sticks a foot in. Heel might have another chance to cross. Trying to win a corner. And it's a goal kick. Last off of Luis Heel. Heel frustrated, but that's more a symptom of just how this game has gone overall for Spokane Velocity. Still just 3 shots generated after holding 64% of the ball during this match, completing 340 passes. They just really haven't done anything with it since a very early shot from Meji Alexandra. No great looks at goal. Brett hoping to change that in a battle with Sjogard, who did very well to hold off the 34-year-old Jamaican striker. Rodriguez hassled by Viñals, and then a sneaky tackle from behind to poke it to his teammate. Looked like he had lost out. No connection with Pedersen and Bolduc on the right. Rosa scanning for options, deciding to go himself. Fernandez sliding in, heel. Pushes it out to Lewis. Twirling past Bolduc. Now it's Alexandra. Pushing back Pedersen, sliding into the 6. Viñals just wasn't quite on the same page with his run. Great work from Edgy Alexandra. And it's all about that quick switch from Spokane. Coming out from the right side, using Lewis as the connector, and then getting it out to Alexandra when they can switch the field a little quicker and make Sarasota move out of their stagnant mid-block. That's when a few more opportunities might present themselves for Velocity. But it's been hard work against a stout Paradise defense. All organized by Waters. Rosa. Back post ball, header! What a save from Sean Lewis. It was offside anyway. But he wouldn't have known while he was flying through the air and swatting that aside. Rosa spots the back post run, and it does look like Mensah was able to keep him offside. Bolduc went for the glancing header. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Bolaños. That's going to be a foul and a caution for Gagi Markvelashvili, who took down Sarasota's chief creator. Jonathan Bolaños just has that extra gear. The touch, the burst. He knew Gagi was going to stab it in, so all he had to do was push that ball ahead of him, and it was always going to be a foul. Gagi, the only Velocity player to receive a yellow card so far. 29-year-old Georgian center back, brought in from the Oakland Roots in the USL Championship. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. You can shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Get these nice City Lights kits that Gagi is modeling nicely for us. Rosa and Bryant. It's Anderson Rosa. Way too central to ever beat Sean Lewis, who safely pushes it over the top, but nonetheless a corner earned by Sarasota. Rosa is a goal-scoring player, one who models his game after Neymar and Marcelo, as any good Brazilian left back would. His free kick sets up this ICCU corner kick, your Financial Success Fan Club. Floated towards the back post, headed to the middle. It's Waters getting in the way on a set piece again. Just awkward timing from Sarasota as they recycled it. Cam Miller, sturdy clearance, finds the feet of Alexandra. And Waters reading the long ball out. Lewis feels the pressure, goes high and wide with it. Heel, perfect first touch. Down at the feet of Andre Lewis. Now Heel looking for Nico Brett. A little bit of a deflection, and it won't reach him before Alex Sutton gets his gloves on it. Hasn't been too much work for Sutton to do in goal. Just one shot on target coming in from Spokane, and it was that early near post hit from Alexandra. Vinyals waiting for the help to arrive. Through the legs, over to Lewis. Heel, first time ball. Great positioning from Sutton. Knew that Heel was looking to cross it and close down the space along the edge of the 6-yard box. We've even getting ready to shake this game up with a triple sub we're hearing. So here comes the change. Mensah's going to be one of the players to come off. You can see the assistant referee telling him he will have to take the long way around. A shorter walk off for Vinyals, who's replaced by Siobhan John Brown. You also see Joe Gallardo coming in for Meji Alexandra. And the last change is that swap at left back with Derek Waldeck taking out Moses Mensah. So the two attackers that we immediately spotted on the bench as potential difference makers with John Brown and Gallardo enter. Gallardo with 2 goals, 1 assist in all competitions this season. John Brown, just in league play, also has 2 goals and 1 assist. McLaughlin. Waldeck's first involvement in the match is taking down the Sarasota forward. He's claiming it was shoulder to shoulder. And you can see the point he's making. McLaughlin very clever to draw that contact. And this will be an interesting position. We saw Rosa take the last free kick. He's got the left-footed delivery. This is an area that would be tough to put a shot on goal, but hard to question his quality on the ball. However, he is going to stroll back towards the middle. O'Dwyer is the left-footed option here. And then you got Ethan Bryant potentially with the right. It will be O'Dwyer. Much the same as Rosas, but over the top and didn't require a save. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Gallardo on the dribble. Let's Fitch have it. Knock back. Gallardo. Brett was almost able to follow up with a shot of his own. Immediately, the subs bringing this match to life as Gallardo came across the pitch and John Brown set him up for a great opportunity. Let's take another look. Beautiful passing play. Sjogard got in the way of the shot. O'Dwyer wins his duel. Knocks it forward for Bolaños, who gets past his man here. Jonathan Bolaños was offside. There are two Sarasota subs looking ready to come in, but doesn't look like they'll make the switch just yet. Oh, I stand corrected. Here come the subs. It's a return for Sean Karani, who has not appeared in a match since April 11th, when he came on as a late game sub against FC Naples. And the USL Academy product, Dominic Brzelinski, makes his second appearance of the league season after playing 7 minutes in the last match against AV Alta, earning himself a longer stretch out on the pitch, as he will try to be a game changer here. Spokane, scan the QR code for your chance to win a free water heater from Raptor Rooter and Plumbing, the proud plumbing partner of your Spokane Velocity. Interesting that Miko Elevara goes for a double dip to the bench and does not call on Sander Ruud. With 2 goals and 4 assists this season, Ruud, definitely a player we were focused on heading into the match. A little surprised to see him on the bench. But 2 games to manage in quick succession here. So keep that in the back of your mind with any decisions that Sarasota do make. Brett wasn't too far over, but always leaning back and trying to get that ball to loop back down towards the top corner. John Brown setting up yet another opportunity. Watch out behind. Depending how long Anwar Pelaez is out for Spokane, this could become one of the most consistent stretches of game time for Nico Brett this season. Only making his 4th start in league play today. But he's been quite effective in the smaller doses, creating 0.86 expected goals plus assists per 90 minutes. But that's in a pretty small sample size on the year. He's had a couple chances, but snatched at him so far in this one. And he certainly hasn't been alone from a Spokane standpoint. "12 shots on goal between the, or 12 shots rather, between the two teams, and just 4 on target through 71 minutes and change." John Brown chesting it past Rosa. Gagi on the recovery. See the brain trust of Mika Elovara talking with Trevor Sinclair, going over their options. 19 minutes away from what would be one of their best results of the season. Over the top for Waldeck. It's a soft shot, and it finds the back of the net. Derek Waldeck, with great control, composes himself and puts Spokane in front. Look at this first touch. Deadens the ball. It looked like it was caught underneath him. Sutton had a hand on it. He's gonna want that one back. For Waldeck, just his second goal for Spokane Velocity. And what a time to get it. With the offense looking stagnant, these subs from Lee Wiedemann have really changed the match. John Brown and Gallardo immediately creating chances. Waldeck finding the breakthrough. Scan now for your latest ticket deals for Spokane Velocity FC. You check out a couple of those upcoming home matches. A nice streak of games for Spokane. 4 of the next 5 will be at home after they travel to face Portland Hearts of Pine next weekend. That includes a cup match against AC Boise. And I believe that's Father's Day weekend as they take on the reigning champions One Knox in a rematch of the 2025 League One final. Berlinski testing the palms of Sean Lewis. He was able to get his body behind it. Fearless nature of a 19-year-old forward, Berlinski, who Mika Elovara described as a wonderful player and person. Got to make his debut in the USL Cup against Sporting Jacks. And a native of New York, his parents were even able to come down and watch him make his pro debut. But it wasn't just about a feel-good story or getting an academy contract on the pitch. Elovara was so impressed with his performance that he got him back into the subs bench against AV Alta. He got on the field, said he earned that playing time with the way that he played against Jacksonville. And here he is again, finishing out the match for Sarasota. This will be his season high in terms of minutes played. Foul by Rodriguez, enough to earn him a yellow card from head official Felix Granados. Sutton urging his teammates to come forward. This will be a boost for Sarasota as they call on Sander Ruud. Rodriguez shortly after picking up that yellow card, replaced by Aaron Walker in midfield. And it's Ethan Bryant who departs for the attacking midfielder Ruud to come on. Derek Waldeck's 72nd minute goal is the difference. His first goal for Spokane in over a year, dating back to April 14th of 2025 when he scored against Texoma FC. 9th straight home match that Spokane have scored. The stadium has turned into a fortress. Look at the two teams that are top of the league table right now. Union Omaha, unbeaten at home with a 5-0-1 record. Spokane, if they hold on here, would improve to 6-0-0 at home. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Coming together between John Brown and O'Dwyer left the Sarasota man down and feeling it. Fitch tossed it into heel. Slid back by Gallardo. It's a late tackle from Andre Lewis. Referee all over it. Sarasota certainly not happy. Paradise won't go down without a fight. And it was a late challenge from Lewis. Watch him come in here on the pass. No intention to get the ball. And that's O'Dwyer, who had just gotten in the collision with John Brown a few moments before. You can win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, which is located in Airway Heights. Amadeus Shogard. Rosa had a run through the middle from Sean Karani, offering a different look at center forward since Garrett McLaughlin came off. If there was a turning point in this match that rose it from low heat to medium, I suppose, it was the introduction of the substitutions in the second half. Spokane just with so much more firepower to bring off the bench. Substitute scores in Waldeck. Sarasota's changes yet to make too much of an impact. Far from a convincing performance from Spokane so far. How much do Sarasota have in the tank here? Walker pulling the strings. Waters asking too much of Rosa. Enter the Brinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen and enter right now. Sanderud. Flashes it in for Karani. Whistle goes. I think that may have been an offside decision. Something off the ball against Sarasota. Offering another opportunity for Lewis to take a few more seconds off the clock. If they can hold on here, Spokane would move into sole possession of second place in the League One standings. Knoxville dropping points last night. They came into match week 12 tied. John Brown with a useful delivery, but a little too tall for Luis Heel. Union Omaha did secure victory at home as well, so they stay in the #1 spot until the midweek round of games. Spokane do not have to play one of the 3 games on Wednesday. Their next match on the road Saturday against Portland Hearts of Pine. A place where they'll have some bad memories from late last fall. They're gonna try to exercise. The reverse pass. I was looking for O'Dwyer. Derek Waldeck, our match winner as things stand. He runs it out of play. And that will allow for the substitution here. One more change for Spokane. The captain, Luis Heel, coming off as he passes the armband to Andre Lewis. Who then hands it off to Colin Fernandez. And it is Marky Hernandez The substitution on for Lee Wiedemann in Spokane, making his 5th appearance of the season. Hasn't played since May 2nd against Corpus Christi. In his League One career, 22 goals, 15 assists for Hernandez. Miller commanding in the air. Waldeck to play it out. Easy take for Sonderud. O'Dwyer taking down from behind. It's Gallardo this time. That's the 3rd occasion that O'Dwyer has been the victim of a late tackle over the last 10 minutes or so of the match. He's gonna have some bruises after this one. Just got stepped on by Gallardo. Nothing intentional there. Shogard to O'Dwyer. Spokane's block has just gotten tighter and tighter as we tick towards the 90-minute mark. They've held 72% of the possession throughout this second half. Everything a touch too slow for Sarasota. Haven't really been able to change the pace on the ball. Sliding challenges flying in. Rude as a shot. Pedersen's the man with the longest throw. He trots over to try to send this one into the mixer. Is there a late moment of drama from the Paradise? Good second service. Oh, Bolaños into the side net. Lewis flapped at it and got nowhere near it. Bolaños was watched closely and couldn't get the right contact here at the back post. Wasn't much angle to aim at as he was flying behind the goal. But mark it down as a half chance. Showing how dangerous a simple long throw-in can be. They weren't able to create the shooting opportunity straight from the throw-in, but when it came back out, it was the second ball in. Rosa. Walker sending it out to Berlinski. Gagi tripped down, and the whistle did go against Sean Karani. He didn't know much about it. but he did impede Gagi from going for that ball. That's an unlucky decision against the young Sarasota forward. 3 more minutes of second half stoppage time, which is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. Gallardo on the break. Brett through the middle. Spokane could have sealed it, but they will have a corner. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. And that's exactly where they'll try to keep it, with Gallardo attempting to knock it off the defender. Sutton will try to go quickly. Sarasota in striking distance. Rosa can't catch up. Those have been the margins. Spokane just a little bit better in pretty much every department. They've been far from perfect, not overly convincing. The goal itself hardly was from Waldeck, but they are getting the job done. And at this point in the season, that is all you can ask for. Lee Viedman, such a perfectionist. I'm sure he'll find ways to break down and tweak things after this performance, but it'll be a lot easier and a lot less stressful if they are able to hang on to the full 3 points. Brett playing it over for Siobhan John Brown. Waldeck into Hernandez. Went for the clincher that will provide Sarasota with a chance to play out. Hernandez could have perhaps held on to that ball and taken it down towards the corner. Fitch may look to do the same as he plays it ahead for Andre Lewis. Brett. And now the game of keep away is on. A 6th straight home win for Spokane Velocity FC to start the League One season. They claim 2nd place in the USL League One standings, and they are a couple games away from history, as they have made One Spokane Stadium a place that nobody wants to come. A 1-0 victory courtesy of a 72nd minute goal from Derek Waldeck, assisted by Colin Fernandez, enough to see Velocity over the line. So we finish with a 1-0 scoreline. Velocity on top. We'll show you our man of the match and the full-time highlights when we return, as we wrap things up from Spokane. Lee Viebman and Spokane Velocity claiming the 1-0 victory at home, shutting out Sarasota Paradise and earning their 6th straight home win of the league season, 7th straight in all competitions. It wasn't a perfect performance, but the man who found the breakthrough, Derek Waldeck. On the mighty Spokane Velocity. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend. Thanks so much for joining us for this presentation of USL League One. For my producer, Hunter Nixon, and the rest of our fantastic crew, my name is Parker Johnson, saying goodbye from Spokane. We'll see you next time for more USL League One soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.